What's going on, everyone? It's Brody back in to answer another tennis question, and today's topic is about the sport itself, how easy and how hard it is to actually get into and start playing tennis. So if you've been playing for a while, most of the time you're going to say, it's kind of easy. If you're just looking to get into it and you just started playing, you don't know anything, you don't know what you're doing, it may seem a little bit hard, but I'm here to tell you it's a lot easier than you actually think it's going to be. So if you have any sports training background before, you've played sports, you're just an athletic type of person, you'll tend to pick up on it pretty quickly. The main few things that you need to get started with tennis, you're going to need your tennis racket, tennis balls, tennis shoes specifically, not ones that are sneakers like you'd find at the basic outlet mall or any other store that you go to. You need tennis specific shoes because that makes a very big difference in being able to support your foot, as well as making sure that you don't sprain your ankle with all the prominent injuries that can come from without the proper footwear. So besides those, you have your racket, you have your shoes, you have your tennis balls, and then you just need a place to actually play tennis. This can usually be found at the local community centers. There's specific tennis clubs that have courts, as well as if you can just find a tennis wall, so you just a concrete wall with a white line drawn on it to represent the net, you are good to go. You don't actually need a person to go out and play with. The wall will help you in certain ways, but having another person to start on this journey with you, that'll help too, just so that you can both get out there and play a sport that we all love. Now, with learning tennis, there's going to be a few main things. Once you have your racket, there's a few ways you can go about it. You can go and get private lessons from an instructor. That can be someone who's local in the community or works at the local tennis club. If there's not one local to you, you can probably look up where the closest one is because they are pretty popular, especially for new players. You can do private lessons with that coach, or you can do group lessons. Group lessons do tend to work out a little bit more because you're starting at around the same level with all the people in your class. The instructor knows what level you're playing in. He knows the other people around. So he's just going to really get an idea of where you all are at, rather than just trying to do extremely crazy amounts of stuff like he would maybe in a private lesson. That's where the group lessons, you just build a lot more friendships and camaraderie, which is one of the main aspects of tennis, because we all love playing the sport, not only because it's great exercise and it's very healthy for us to go out and just play the sport and to be active, but tennis is also a very social sport. Yes, you're on opposite sides of the net. You got all the people over here, you got all the people over there, but especially in a group tennis lesson when you're just starting out, it's fun to get out, know the people, learn who everyone is, see what they do, and just make new friends while you're learning to play the game, because it can be hard sometimes to go out and meet new people. Tennis is a great way to do that because you're not only hitting your exercise that you should probably be getting, but as well as you're also just getting out there, putting yourself out there and having a good time with new people so that you can keep playing tennis with them outside of the group lessons so you don't have to pay for it anymore. But you also just get to make some new friends and potentially just meet some really cool people that you would have never known before. Tennis is a great way to meet anyone. You can do it through recreational teams, just recreational play, clubs. They have a whole slew of options. So it's a lot easier to actually get going and stick with tennis than some of the other sports. A lot of other sports, you have a very team-oriented basis, which is really great for those sports. Tennis is different in the fact that it's a lot more individualized. So you do tend to get a lot more preferential. Let me rephrase that. You get a lot more ways to customize everything to fit your preferences, rather than whereas in a team sport, you have to do a lot of different things or wear a lot of different things based off what the team does. In tennis, you get to make a lot of the decisions for yourself, so you don't have as many people telling you what to do, whereas you can really just dictate what happens. With that being said, tennis, sometimes you are playing on a team if you're playing doubles. It's up to you, personal preference. If you try both, with the group lessons, you'll probably be playing doubles a lot just so that you and your partner can both get more experience, see what's going on. But if you do have the money or have the time to do a private lesson, then you will really just accelerate your growth in actually growing in the sport and what you can do, because a lot of the instructors know what they're doing, especially coaches. Sometimes equipment knowledge can be here or there. That's why you come to me for that though. But for actually playing and the actual teaching of the basic mechanics of tennis, they're pretty great for most everything that you need. Sometimes it doesn't help to go to a specialist. I know a lot of people that they have like, all right, I've been to the local tennis clubs, I've been to the local coaches, I want something more. They see the man, the myth, the legend in tennis coaching, Patrick. I'm not going to try and pronounce his last name because I'll probably do it wrong right now, but Patrick M. Just look him up, Patrick M. tennis coach. He was also Serena Williams tennis coach. He has his own academy out in Europe, I believe it is. A lot of people just want to go there just to not only see the experience that it is, but also just to get better in itself. You don't have to stick to one club. You can stay at one if you prefer. You can go to a new one. You just get to do almost whatever you want. Now, the basic mechanics of tennis, that it's not necessarily going to be that hard to do. You just do need to develop a few main things, like it'll say in the description. You're going to have some coordination, depth perception is going to be a pretty big one, especially because you have to gauge where the ball is coming and how you need to position yourself to be able to hit the ball correctly and whatever shot that you are trying to hit at that certain moment. You do have to have a little bit of an idea of how well you can move your body, because with tennis, it's a very intensive sport with on the physicality side. Since it's only you out there, there's typically, unless you're playing doubles, but typically no one else out on the court to help you. So you have to know what your body can do, what your body can handle without pushing it to the extremes, without pushing it over its limits. If you do that, you're just going to end up hurting yourself. And we don't want that, because we all want to keep playing this sport because we actually like how we feel after we play it, while we're playing it. It's so much fun. And that's where a lot of people can sometimes get it wrong, because they're overtraining, when in reality, you just needed to train maybe once or twice that day, and then your body needs to rest, recover, go back at it the next day, and have fun in the process. Tennis can be a lonely sport at times because a lot of the people will only play it as a singles player. Sometimes doubles, it will help against this, but you're still just you against the ball. A lot of tennis is the mental fortitude, so you have to have a lot of patience, not only with playing against your opponent during the rallies, but also against yourself. You have to make sure that you stay in check. You're not overbearing, you're not overhitting, you're not underhitting. It's a very constant mental battle. So it's one of those things that we really have to work on as tennis players, because a lot of us are going to be playing matches where we are on the singles court. If you aren't that good mentally, then it doesn't necessarily matter how physically capable you are, because you don't have the reaction times or the coordination to go after the ball and actually hit the stroke that you want to, in order for you to be put into an advantageous point throughout the match. So overall, getting into tennis, it's not that hard, it's not that complicated. You got a lot of good resources to use, especially in the terms of tennis clubs, having the instructors there, having the group lessons, having private lessons if you prefer, and just being able to join the tennis community of players who are looking to get better, go out and have fun, just actually enjoy playing a sport that they've come to know for years, or they're just getting into. You'll find someone who's at your level, because new people are always coming into the sport every day, and you can always ask for help. Very rarely will you find someone who's just like, oh, no, stay away from me. And if you do find those people, don't be those people. We don't like those people. We are here to play tennis so that we can have fun, meet new people, be excited about getting onto the court, and just having a good time with people that while we are working on our physical health, sometimes the mental health with the physical exercise that we're doing, as well as just living a better lifestyle for not only ourselves, but all of those around us. So with that being said, if you like the video, leave a like on it. Comment down below any more questions that you may have about tennis, how to get into it, where to start. I'll answer them as fast and as quickly as I can. Subscribe to the channel so we can grow this channel and get this message out there. There's a lot of misinformation going on in the tennis community. I took it upon myself to make this YouTube channel so that we can get rid of that. So, as always, like the video, subscribe, share this video with a friend if they're looking to get into tennis and you really want to try and convince them, push them over just a little bit more as to why they should actually get going. And as always, take care.